time for Kane County Speaks here at WRMN AM 1410 and at WRMN Radio on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Check us out at WRMN Radio, and I'll pay attention to the comments if you want to make any during the show today. You can get in the chat room and type something up. You can always go to our text line, 505-926-1410. That's the new text line here at WRMN, the info line, 505-926-1410. Or later on in the show, you're welcome to call at 847-931-1410 as we welcome in Brian Anderson back for another edition. Hey, Brian.
Mark, good morning. Great to be here in Elgin. A little cloudy outside, a little overcast, but the energy is high in the studio today because I've got the great pleasure to sit down and chat with local home hero David T. So I'm just delighted to get in and talk with David here in a few minutes. I do want to share with your listeners, every time I come on, I kind of share with your listeners what's been happening at the Kane County government board meetings. And after the interview with Jonathan Gripe, I think I alluded, hey, go to the next board meeting because they're going to be talking about a potential ordinance regarding public speaking. And currently, it is, you can go 5 minutes, which is basically 6 people at a 30-minute clip, and then 3 minutes off agenda, which would be 5 people for 15 minutes. And they wanted to really reduce the public speaking. And so this last board meeting, and when I say last, on July 3rd, there was an executive board meeting, and there were probably 40 people that are involved in our Kane County Speaks group around Kane County there for that board meeting. There were certainly some citizens that support the Democrat agenda as well. I mean, it was a packed house, and it got pretty heated, and I would encourage your listeners, July 3rd, go on YouTube, key in Kane County government, and you can find that executive board meeting, and you can hear some fabulous comments. What happened is, once the public comments, then there was some discussion, and Madam Chair's like, hang on a second here, I'm getting all kinds of comments from our board members and some other people, and lo and behold, I think where we're at today as we speak, they want to add some time, but instead of 5 minutes to speak, it'll be 3 minutes, but 15 people. So it will be more people. However, this last board meeting, which was on July 9th, it was a full county board meeting with all 24 board members there. And it got pretty heated, and it was interesting. Several of the Democrats, who I think are outstanding and fair-minded and want to do the right things for the right reasons for we the people here in Kane County, they're like, you know what, everything's fine. Let's keep it 5 minutes. Let's keep it 3 minutes. Matter of fact, one of the Democrat board members goes, I think we ought to give the citizens an hour to speak. So just when you thought they were going to come to a vote, they're still in what's called a reading, a discussion. And so I think this is going to continue until the next big county board meeting, probably in September, which I will fill your listeners in. But it's very interesting that, you and I as citizens to go in and be able to speak. And so I would encourage your listeners to go to the board meetings or at least go online. And typically about 48 to 72 hours after these board meetings, you can actually go to the Kane County government, go into the minutes and agendas, past meetings, minutes and agendas, and actually find it on their website as well. Now, before we get to the interview, there are currently 12 Democrats on the board that are up for re-election this cycle, and we are running and supporting and championing probably 8 of the candidates around Kane County. One of them is Mr. David Tees here running against Vern Tepe in District 22. And before I get into the interview, it's amazing to me, Mark. I've got friends all over Kane County, and July 4th, Vern Tepe, which again, as a board member, I think it's great keeping your constituents updated on what's happening.
Yeah.
But in his latest newsletter on July 4th to his constituents, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going off the top of my head, but along the lines, the lies and rumors are starting early. There's been a group of extremists going to the board meetings. Now, let me just stop right there for a second. There's over 300,000 registered voters in Kane County, and I have attended for 15 months. And I just spoke at the board meeting on July 9th on this very topic. So if Vern Tepe would be calling me or anyone like me an extremist because I go to the board meetings, speak calmly, speak respectfully, speak factual, I'm encouraging our board members to keep our taxes at bay, keep our needed services growing, pay attention to what's going on, collaborate and work together, because you do need to work together on both sides of the aisle. If I'm considered an extremist for that, it's an alarming, and I'm so thankful, and we're going to get into it here in a few minutes, that David Tease is running against Vern Tepe, because I can tell you, out of all of the 12 on the board that are running for re-election, outside of Madam Chair, Vern Tepe is number 2 in my humble opinion. And let me just give your listeners a snapshot, because in his newsletter, and I'm hoping that there are listeners today from Edgewater, because lies and rumors, and as I shared with the board, I said, lies and rumors, when you speak the truth, I'll give you an example here. This is on the record. August of 2023, County Board member Vern Tepe wanted to censor the citizens in public comments back then. He's a big proponent of that. Now, fast forward, November 2023, Vern Tepe wanted to increase the property taxes. Vern Tepe was the only one. It was a vote. It was 11-1 against, we don't want to do the the gas tax. Let that sink in. All of his other colleagues on both sides of the aisle, he was the only one that just wanted to remain hard on that. May 2024, and it's on the record, he was part of a compensation committee meeting. He floated the idea, Madam Chair, her base is 105. And you and I talked about this, and you're a business owner. He's like, I don't know. I think we should give Madam Chair up to 160,000. This is a guy who is just so out of touch with the average hardworking citizen here, not only in Kane County, not only in the state of Illinois, but across the country. I don't know anyone in business that gets a 30, 40, 50% raise. It's insane to me. So why do I bring that up? Because we're getting ready to transition into the candidate that is running against Vern Tepe, and that is David Tease. David, thanks for carving some time out of your day. As I do with every candidate, Tell the audience, are you single, you married, you have a family? Give us a little personal background.
Well, thanks for inviting me here today. Yes, I am married. I've been married for 14 years to my wife, Samantha. We have one child together, but I do have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. My 2 girls are 36 and 35. My youngest is, of the 2 girls, Katrina. She's in Florida at a blind convention this week, Jacksonville, Florida. But I did have those 2 girls. I raised them by myself for quite a few years after they lost their mother. And then being a father, I enjoy it. I love my kids, and it's a great family. We're all really good. Everybody's out there enjoying their lives and making money and being successful, except for my 11-year-old who loves fishing.
Any grandchildren?
No grandchildren, thank God. I'm not ready for that
You
yet.
know, like you said, a joy to be a father, a joy to be a parent. We've got 3 adult children, and our oldest daughter has blessed us. We've got a soon-to-be 10-year-old and a 3-year-old grandson, and boy, it is just amazing family is important, so thanks for that.
Yes, it is.
As I've asked all these candidates, you know, getting into public service, I believe it takes someone with a servant's heart. And what was your why, right? When you decided, what was your why to get involved and to throw your hat into the ring, if you will, to get on the ballot, to run for this Kane County Board seat, District 22? What was the why for you?
Well, 3.5 years ago, my mom talked me into going to the Elgin Township Republican meetings, so I did, and I became an elected PC, and then I became the vice chairman right away the first year I've been in it, and because I wanted to do something. I wanted to, instead of being a person that goes out and votes and loses and gets mad, I decided this year I'm going to run for Kane County Board. I'm going to be the person that gets out there and does something about it. I want to be the guy that is a voice for the people, to keep our property taxes down, because that's really killing a lot of citizens in Kane County when the taxes keep going up, especially when you're getting hit by the school districts and Elgin Community College. And thank God the grassroots group stopped the 15% property tax in October, which was really great. But people are living check by check, and somebody's got to get up there and step and fight for them. We got to make our county safer and our city safer. Crime is up. Fatalities and accidents are up on our roads in Kane County. So I decided it was time for me to get up and help the people out and become a part of it instead of somebody that complains about it. I want to be the guy that does something about it.
I love that. And you can appreciate this too, Mark, and what you do and where you go. I mean, every bar in Kane County, right? What do people do? Sit around and gripe and complain. And so just for you to get off the bench, get off the couch, and I love the fact, so 3.5 years ago, before you got the call of encouragement, did you have any scope of local politics and what was going on? Because I sure didn't.
I sure didn't either. I went out and voted every year. I voted since I was 18, allowed to vote. My daughter, who's blind, she voted the first day she got to get out and vote. She's never missed an election. So voting is very important. It helps candidates win. I didn't see myself where I'm at today, and I'm really glad where I'm at today because I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Right. I love what you just said, and I don't want your listeners to miss it. I've been voting since I was of legal age to vote. I've never missed an election. And then getting married and having kids and having adult children, I always gave them a pretty simple message. Voting is a privilege in this country, and it's a responsibility. Don't take it for granted. And I know that millions of people, they don't vote. And I would just encourage your listeners, based on what you just said, regardless of what's going on in D.C., right? November 5th, we have a presidential election. Not going to get into that. Get up and go and vote November 5th. Why? Because here in Kane County, at the local level, we do need people to get out and vote for the right people, to put them in the right seats, to get the job done for we the people here in Kane County. Now, with that said, I love what you said when you got off the couch and you went in and you started off. What's a PC?
A precinct committee person is the working bee for the Elgin Township Republican and for the Republican Party. We meet once a month, and our job is to help candidates with literatures, passing out, knocking on doors, promoting candidates, local and federal. It's put the signs out there. I never knew who did the signs because I see every year political signs, and I find out it was Walter and Judy Wright. And I started grabbing signs and putting them out there. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's a PC is a person. We're the worker bees, and we help our candidates, and that's their job. And I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy doing it now today.
So I have a little bit different twist, and I agree with you completely. as I've over the last 15, 16 months, I had, in all of my years of voting, I've had one PC come and knock at my door and drop some literature off a couple of years ago. And since then, as I've kind of done my due diligence and research, like what do these people do and the process and the program, I like to think that a PC not only goes out and provides the literature, but is kind of that Paul Revere, if you will, in their neighborhood, in their precinct. Like, I see you outside mowing your grass, I come over and go, hey, how you been? What's going on? Do you know what's going on at the Kane County government? No, what's going on? They want to raise your taxes. I didn't know that. Then you, living in my neighborhood, now you can get on the phone, send an email, shoot a text, call your district board member, call your school board member and say, I didn't know about this referendum. Can you talk to me about it? And I think the citizen engagement piece is so important, and it's been so disjointed for so long that it's just exciting to know that there's people like you rolling up your sleeves. And oh, by the way, I don't want your listeners to miss this. You moved up, you grew, you elevated, you became not only a PC, but then what did you say? You moved into what position?
I was vice chairman. I was voted into vice chairman like right after I was elected as a PC. So I'm on my second term right now. It's a 2-year term. And now I was just recently appointed on the senior board for the Elton Township with Marky B and Ken Brutally and Eric Stair and them guys right there. So
yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Just another example of you wanting to get involved wherever you can.
Yes.
And that's what since I've gotten to meet you, that's the one thing I feel about you is I see you everywhere. I mean, you're like everywhere, and that's a good sign because that shows that you're committed and ready to make a difference.
Well, once I get committed into something like the Youth Bowling League, I like teaching the kids every Saturday morning there, help them get scholarship opportunities for colleges, and I've been doing that for going on my 8th year. So once I get involved in something, I don't walk away from it. And back on your subject with the PC, before I got involved with this, I had never had one PC walk up to my door the whole entire time from being able to vote.
Right.
So it was very confusing for me back in the day as to who the good candidates are and, who do you vote for, because we don't have mainstream media as much as we did back in the day, or the internet where everybody could stream everything. So you get more chances now today to know about candidates and who they are compared to when I did back when I was
right.
there. So it was a tough thing to do back in the day.
So I want to go back because I don't want your listeners to miss this either. Sometimes, and not all the time, but you'll see these people want to get into a political office, and all of a sudden they want to start getting involved to show everybody what they're doing. You made a comment. You've only been getting involved in the political scene for a couple of years, but yet you've been doing the youth bowling for like 8 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell the audience just about your passion for bowling and why that's important to you.
Well, I grew up bowling on Saturday mornings, and I did it all the way up till I was 18 until you can do it. And both of my boys are bowlers. My youngest is still bowling. He's a state champion when he was 6 years old and 7 years old for the Pepsi tournaments. And I love going there and teaching these kids how to bowl. It's great to watch them get better and better and better, and it puts a smile on your face, and it makes you feel proud that they're listening and they're enjoying themselves, because that's what they're there for, to be a family, to enjoy themselves and get better.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And from my ears, that's great mentoring. That's great leadership, right? And that's why when we have men and women in any capacity, when you're running for a school board position, local municipality, even in a job interview, right? And I spent many, many decades interviewing men and women for different roles in corporate America. And when you find out what people do in the background and their civic duty and their civic engagement, and they've been doing it for years and they have success, I'm telling you, you're talking to someone that has great qualities. And so, and I can just sensing by that. Here's my question: how many 300 games have you bowled?
None. I have never had one. I had a 299.
Wow.
Yep. And it was close, but yeah, 300s.
Mark, how about you? Are you a bowler? Do you bowl?
Not really so much, but I have bowled with David a couple times. My highest game's at 244.
Wow.
But that was, not very. That was a one-time thing. Yeah.
One and done. Now, your two sons, either 300 game?
No, actually, they were, I think, Tyler was a 289, and Jacob he's only 11. He's going on 12 this August, so his high game, I think, was a 230. So, yeah, he enjoys bowling. He'll still be back there this year.
Impressive. That takes me to kind of my next question, mentoring, civic engagement. Mark alluded, he sees you around everywhere. What do you do for a living? What is your vocation? What do you do?
Well, I am a licensed plumber, 44 years. I'm the business owner of Ability Plumbing and Heating out of Elgin. I was raised by my father as a plumber. You know, he was a plumber his whole entire life. He was the founder of the company. And I started out in the union in the apprentice program and learned a trade through there and out in the field for 4 years of doing that. So I love being a blue-collar worker. I love going out and getting my hands dirty, working in the severe cold and working in severe heat, doing new houses, new construction. I've done additions to hospitals. I was at the Elgin sewage treatment plant, which is a nice place to work at. Stinks, literally. But went to trade school, was through the union, and I learned how to do pipe fitting, boiler work, hot water heat, steam heat, acid waste pipe specialty. I'm an RRP lead tester. I took the courses for that. So, and at the age of 26 in the union, I became a very young foreman for a corporation that had like 300 plumbers. So I actually ran work and had a crew working underneath me doing new construction and new houses. So leadership for me is something I've done when I was very young.
I'm glad you brought that up, and thanks for sharing just your vocation. And I want to dig into that for a minute, but I'm glad you brought that up about the leading, because that was actually one of my questions, because, John Gripe came from that, corporate America, Lance Bell, right, corporate America guy. So you, the plumber, business owner, operator, but then I love what you said that, you led other people. Tell the audience why you think and what has propelled you for this time to be in a role where, why do I need leadership skills to be on a board? Well, you're going to be leading and collaborating with other men and women. So, yeah, share that to the audience.
Having leadership actually shows strength, first of all, and you can give great input to members of the board like I do with our township and all that stuff, come up with great ideas. Getting everybody to work together is something very valuable to me, and get them all motivated and excited that we can work together and accomplish a lot of good things. If you're in politics or if you're building a house or, just working hard at something, you got to have a leadership and listen to everybody, listen to their input, treat them with respect also. And people will work hard for you and listen to you and respect you.
I think that is so important, and you're exactly right. And, I can't speak for the other 3,400 counties across the United States. I've only been involved with Kane County, but I have seen it's disjointed. There are several people that they're not going to budge. It's their ideology and their way. And I've seen some board members, some of the Democrats and Republicans, do exactly what you just said. And they've actually openly said it in board. I'm here to work across the aisle. And I think that when you have the right people in the right seats on both sides of the aisle, and you get what we, the people, want at the end is getting results, right? Keeping our taxes at bay, the services that we do need for our citizens here in Kane County, that they're readily available, and that the men and women that serve us, whether it's in the police or the fire or the EMTs and all the people in the background, that they're taken care of as well. I think that's great. Can you give me and Mark and just the audience, like, maybe a recent example of you collaborating in the Elgin Township arena with some of the people on the or this new position that you just this mental health position?
Obviously, senior board there. Collaborating with this, like for example, we have our golf outing coming up on Monday, and we created a team with me, and we're working together, and we're going out there, and we're, they got this assignment, they got this assignment. One of the things I do during our township meetings, I listen to everybody. I sit back. I want everybody to speak. Everybody has a voice. I also. I want everybody to understand that I want to know everybody. I want to know every PC. I have taken the time to sit down with every PC and get to know them on a personal basis. And the same thing I'd like to do when I'm on the Kane County Board. I'd like to know everybody. I want to know who I'm talking to and who I'm dealing with, whether if they like me or if they don't. But I really don't have a problem with anybody. I don't dislike anybody.
Well, that's a great quality. And just listening to you, what's going on in my head, I'm a big fan of Dr. John Maxwell and some of the books he's written and some of the things he said. Connect with people's heart first, right? That rapport, get the rapport before the report, right? Brian, I like to listen to people. Listen to learn, right?
Yes. Listen
to learn. Not to speak to make other people wrong. And so those are great attributes. And I love the fact that getting to know these PCs at a personal level, because correct me if I'm wrong, it's volunteered. It's non-paid, right? Am I getting paid as a PC to go out and knock on 20 doors or 50 doors and hand out, or am I getting paid?
Yeah, we don't get paid. This is not a paying job. But it's that shows dedication. If somebody's not getting paid, but they're going out there knocking on 500 doors and knocking on 500 more, it's dedication to their party, their beliefs, and they know in their hearts they're doing a good job, and they're going out there and doing everything they can to help their candidates win. And that's a great thing out there.
Well, and I love what you said, because in a job, right? I'm trading my time and talent for a paycheck. I think the beauty, when you see men and women doing volunteer work and they stick and stay, it's typically because of the people they're surrounded with, right? Yep. If I feel valued and valuable and someone's investing in me, getting to know me, like, man, I've been working with this guy and I never knew he was married. I never knew he had 3 kids. That's not relationship building, but I love what you said about getting down and getting to know the people. And at the board level, I think that's also important too. Now, before I forget, I heard you reference a golf outing. Is that coming up this Monday?
Yes.
Is it too late for your audience or anybody listening to sign up?
No, it's not too late.
Let's give it a quick plug.
Well, we're having a golf second annual Salute to America golf outing. It will be on Monday. Sign up is at 7 a.m. We'll be teeing off at 9, and it's a fundraiser, our second one. That they gave me the green light to go last year, and it was really good, and it's going to be really good this year because we got a car for a hole-in-one. Somebody gets a hole-in-one, they win a car, brand new car, by the way.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
A brand new car.
Brand new car. Yeah, you hit a hole-in-one, which is a 1 in 23,000 chance to win. We got Cubs tickets for a hole-in-one, 4 Cubs tickets behind a third base dugout for an upcoming Cubs game. And there are Bears tickets to give away, too. And so it's a good fundraiser for helping our candidates to get weapons, literature, signs, whatever they need, emailing in the future here for the election coming up.
So if any of your listeners out there, what do they do? How do they sign up? Give them the plug right now. If I'm listening, I go, man, I think I'd like to do that on Monday.
Well, you can call me at 630-918-6816 or email me at tizo6519@aol.com, or you could go to the Elgin Township Republicans webpage and you can see our promotion. Hit the QR code and pay on PayPal and jump right on into it.
Maybe you should say that phone number one more time. There was a lot of numbers you just gave.
Yeah. 630-918-6816.
630-918-6816.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's a tough number, isn't it?
It kind of is. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Mark. Speaking of numbers, how are we doing on time before our first break?
Yeah, we're a little over time, so we're probably due for a break.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take a break. This is Kane County Speaks. If you want to speak with David Tees, you can get in after the break. The phone number is 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. We got Kathy Edwards on YouTube saying, David Tees, your efforts are of benefit and of Kane County, and I'm grateful. And so thanks for the comments there. Also, you can send me a text at 505-926-1410. Kane County Speaks continues in a moment right here on WRMN.
Good afternoon and good evening. No matter the time of the day, WRMN 1410 AM is your platform to voice your views, share your stories, and connect with the Valley like never before. We're more than just radio. We're a community conversation that's always live, always local, and always looking for your input. Want to chime in on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil? Got a hot tip for first shift with Marky B? Or maybe you've got a question for one-on-one with Leah. Now's the time to make your voice heard by calling Studio 14 at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You can join in the dialogue from wherever you are by commenting on our YouTube live streams at WRMN Radio. Hit the subscribe button to get notified when we go live and bring your comments to the table. It's easy, it's fun, and hey, it's what neighbors do. We talk, we listen, we engage. You're not just the audience, you're part of the show. Call in, comment, and let's make radio interactive. WRMN 1410 AM, where your words are part of our wavelength. America's Best Restaurants travels the country and features restaurants that you should visit each week. Recently, the cast and crew made their way to Renata's German Restaurant in Hanover Park. Renata serves old family recipes and delicious German-influenced food. Renata's also specializes in a wide variety of traditional German baked goods, too. So, if you've yet to visit Renata's, try America's Best Restaurant's choice. Drop in soon for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th at Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois. Join us Saturday, September 7th for America's First Responders Fest. The South Elgin event will pay tribute to veterans and all first responders. This year's event includes Rapid Response 5K and Fun Run starting at 10 a.m. The festival hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll have first responder stage tributes. There will be a classic car show from JP Car Shows. Live bands featuring Deacon Frost, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, Jimmy Nick, and the Junkyard Groove. We'll broadcast live right here on WRMN 1410 and at WRMN Radio on YouTube. There will be food and beverage trucks, kids' activities, and market-style vendor booths. For more information and updates leading up to the event, please visit afrfest.org. Again, that's Saturday, September 7th. For more information, visit afrfest.org. That's America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th. At Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242. It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750. Kane County Speaks, returning here at WRMN, AM 1410, WRMN Radio on YouTube. As we talk to David Tees, Brian Anderson does on this beautiful morning here in downtown Elgin. Phone lines open, 847-931-1410 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Right, Brian?
That's exactly right, Mark.
Yes, well, welcome back.
Welcome back. Do we have somebody that wants to
Oh, we do, yeah.
chime in?
We do. We have a phone call, 847-931-1410. Let's take a phone call this morning and see who we have. Good morning. Welcome to Kane County Speaks.
Hi, this is Jim Whittington. I've called in before, and I've been a periodic attendee at board meetings. And I live in the St. Charles, John Gripes district, so I'll be voting for him. But, David, I just want to commend you for your willingness to support and serve and do the right thing for the citizens of Kane County. And I just want to say, in attending the board meetings, I found that there's a lot of great Democrats. I would describe myself as a conservative independent, but I'm just looking for board members to do the right thing for the citizens of Kane County. And my own personal interaction with Vern Tepe, unfortunately, is I would describe him as Madam Chair Parag's henchman. No matter whether she's proposing trying to limit our free speech or another tax increase, he's the first one to raise his hand and vocally support whatever idea she has.
One of the things that really drives me nuts with anybody on any board in Congress or down in Springfield or raising taxes. Why would you, if it's a Kane County Board, you live in Kane County and you're a taxpayer, why would you want to raise your own taxes? I could see if you don't have enough money, you got to do it. We have no choice to fund, create the budget and have a budget. But if we're doing good in our accounts, just like a business, why would you raise your prices? It doesn't help the consumer or the taxpayer whatsoever. And it just drives me nuts when somebody always wants to raise your taxes. That's the only thing that comes out of their mouth. So this is time where we've got to start being responsible government instead of a foolish government by raising people's taxes who are struggling out there right now.
Yeah, the other thing, David, that always gets me is they're always talking about they're getting a grant from the state or the federal government. Well, guess what? All that money's coming from taxes we pay to Springfield or to Washington, D.C. So, it's costing us one way or another, and we really need to find ways to control the budget and reduce expenses. So I'm hoping you're going to be able to focus on that when you get elected.
Oh, I definitely will. I'm out there for the citizens of Kane County and the citizens for Elgin. Like I said, I'm a blue-collar worker. I'm a taxpayer, and it hurts right now for everybody.
So,
yeah. Hey, I have one final idea for you as a bowler. Why, to take the lead from President Trump, why don't you challenge Vern to a bowling match?
Not a bad idea.
That is a great idea. But hey, Jim, thanks for calling in. I did want to respond to what you said. And I don't have my notes in front of me. But when you talked about Vern Tepe, he is the vice chair, so he would be in the pecking order, if you will, from a leadership. I think he would be the second in command behind Kane Parag. But, one of the things, if you were listening to the today's interview with David, which I think you were, I was really commending him on his ability to listen, right? Listen to learn. Now, this will blow you away. And I don't have the dates in front of me. I was just looking on my phone. At the most recent Finance Committee meeting, and it was a couple hours long, and so I've actually got to go back and listen. I think it's like 2 hours and 17 minutes into it. It's fascinating. The state's attorney, Jamie Moser, who is a Democrat, and by the way, that's a whole different conversation, but I like Jamie and what she does, even though she's a Democrat, and which goes back to my hat. Just get the right people in the right seat doing the right thing. That does not mean that I would vote for her come election time, right? I don't want to give the listeners that impression, but right now as we speak today, love what she's doing. Anyway, I'm going off track. She was in that meeting. And Vern Tepe brought up a point, and she goes, I'm sorry, Mr. Tepe. We can't go back and change that. It's already been put in what's called the record. It's already done. There's nothing we can do. You just kind of have to live with the fact that this was put in the agenda. He was very upset and agitated that there were a couple of photos put in to this packet, this agenda, by Chris Lausen, the treasurer. And by the way, those photos, they were to make a point, and they were appropriate. And when we talk about freedom of speech, anyway, Mr. Tepe's like, but I want them out. And she goes, Mr. Tepe, it's already in. He goes, well, I want to vote on it right now. So she kind of paused and let's take a vote. Well, they voted it down because she told the other board members that were actually actively listening that it's a dead issue and it can't be voted on, and it just got pushed right back in his face. And I thought that was a beautiful moment because this is a guy who is so tone deaf. Not only does he not listen to we the people, he's not even listening to the state's attorney, who I think is a very smart person. So thanks for that, and it just caused me to want to talk about that. But if you don't have any other questions for David Tease, I want to ask him a few more questions before our time is up.
Yeah, no, I'll say goodbye by saying, so in other words, now I understand Vern is kind of the Kamala Harris of Kane County. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And thank you, Marky B, for hosting this show every couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Jim, for calling in. We do have one more caller, 847-931-1410. I do want to mention, I failed to mention this earlier, this paid commercial program doesn't necessarily reflect the opinions and views of WRMN, this station, and their employees and affiliates, just so you know. And we do take calls for anybody that agrees or disagrees on this program with what we're talking about. So we have Cleveland Dennis on the phone right now, and he's got something to comment on. Hey, Dennis.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for qualifying me by making that announcement just now. I don't know if this is the right forum, but when you're talking about taxes, property taxes, very sensitive with me because I'll explain what happened recently. And again, I don't know if this is the right forum, but I think somebody out there, maybe the listeners could kind of chime in. But I got my tax bill, and I always look it over kind of in detail. And I said, all right, I'm going to pay the whole thing this time. I usually go down there to Geneva because I like to get active with it and see what's going on and talk to the people at the counter that take your payment and stamp, paid and all that. And I talk to the people that are also coming to pay their taxes. Anyhow, I've been busy lately with the business, so I said I'm just going to pay it, like online or whatever. Had my granddaughter help me. I just wanted her to double-check everything. Well, I paid it about a week before they were due on June 1st. And then I'm watching my account, and they're not taking it out. They're not taking it out. They said, they'll probably take it out on June 1st, I guess. Well, June 1st come, and it bounced back. And I go, what is wrong here? Okay. And then I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to have to go over to the bank and see what the problem is, and maybe take my documents and then maybe run down to Geneva to talk to them firsthand. Well, about 4 days later, it went through and it was paid. But they rocked me for $50 for a late payment. All right?
Did you... Just a quick thing, did you go down to the clerk's office and talk to him really quickly that you show that you made the transition and it took the bank and the transition was longer?
That's future work for me.
Okay.
Probably next week because things are going to slow down next week for me, and I'm going to get one of the grandkids, take me down there and buy a pizza over in Geneva and come back hopefully satisfied. But, yeah, it's just baffling.
Yeah.
And it makes me scratch my head as to how this system works or doesn't work at times. But I'm glad you guys are talking about the taxes because they're too high.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Dennis,
right.
before you leave, this is Brian Anderson. Hey, thanks for sharing, and I'm so sorry to hear your story. On the flip side of that, I would tell you that I've actually done the online payment the last couple years, and I've actually found it to be very, very streamlined, and I got a confirmation immediately, and my payment was taken out immediately, and so from my perspective, it's been very, very useful. But to what David T. suggested, yes, I think that you need to get down there as soon as you can, either drive yourself or get one of your grandsons or daughters to get you down there, because I think if you can show them, and you should have received a confirmation when you paid it and go, hey, listen, this was paid and I'm making this up right now.
I did. If I could interject,
yes.
I did. That's the whole thing. I got it. I got them all printed out, too.
Then you'll have no problem. You will have no problem.
I hope not.
You'll have no problem if you go down there and go, hey, here's the confirmation. I'm sure that they're going to take care of you. Absolutely. But thank you for calling.
Thanks, Dennis.
You guys have an interesting show. I like it, and I feel better all over now because of what I just heard. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Cleveland Dennis, we got about 6 minutes left in the show. I know you still got a few more questions. Yeah, so we got to roll.
So, yeah, well, it's been great, and I love it when citizens from around Kane County call in. I want to go back to what you said early on. Running for the board, you're on the Elgin Township, PC, active, coach, business owner, operate, husband, father. So it's two questions. Number one, how do you manage your time effectively to be able to do all of that? I find that fascinating.
Our chairman, Ed Dring, always wonders, does your mind go 100 miles per hour, and do you sleep at night? And yes, I do sleep at night, but my mind does go 100 miles per hour. I'm just a guy that just works and doesn't stop. I don't think my brain knows how to stop, but like as soon as I'm done here, I got to go put a water heater in and change a hose bib on a house out in Del Webb today. So, so it never stops for me. I'm very active. Summer is so short to get yard work done. Yeah, I forgot about yard work too. I'm also the guy that does that. So it's so short. You got in wintertime, you can't do all this stuff in the outside. But I stay active. Staying active is good than sitting around the house and doing nothing.
The other thing you said early on, and it caught my attention, is when you were talking about your plumbing business. I roll up my sleeves every day, and it dawned on me, running for District 22, you're going to be rolling up your sleeves for the people here in Kane County.
Yes, I am. I'll be able to make my own schedule, so I'll be able to attend any of the board meetings to make sure I'm out there fighting for our taxpayers. My wife has a great job, so and all that stuff. And our kid starts middle school this year, so it's right down the street from us. So, I'll be out there doing everything and rolling up my sleeves and everything I get my hands into.
The other thing that we've been talking about, and I just want your listeners to embrace it, is all of your volunteer, your community involvement. I roll that back under the umbrella of just being a great servant leader, serving others. And again, we live in a time where everybody's so interested in themselves, and there's not much time to serve others. And so I don't want that to go missed. That is a great quality that you have. Which brings me to the real question I wrote down for this segment is, you just recently got on some board. And tell us about that and why that's important for you.
Well, I just got appointed to the Elgin Township Senior Board as on Monday. I do a lot of work for seniors, and I'm very passionate doing work for them. A lot of them are on fixed incomes. So hopefully we can start a program where we can get local businesses to get together, like HVAC companies, electrical companies, plumbing companies, including myself, to put a little bit of helping out, maybe go into people's seniors' houses, change a light bulb, change a battery, check their air filter on their furnace, or check their systems to make sure they're ready for winter or for summer, to see if I get some of these local businesses to put back and get back to our seniors and help out.
That is outstanding, and that is something that if I was a small business owner in that category, I'd be like, these are the people that have been paying my wage for 20, 30 years. if somebody, and I'm making this up, they're 82 years old, they don't have the mobility they used to have, they can call me up and go, hey, can you come by and do this? What a great community service opportunity.
Donate an hour of your time to put back into the community, and that's a good thing to do for any business and to help out the citizens in Kane County.
So I know we're going down with time. One of the most important questions that I want to have answered by any of the candidates, you read the numbers and the data. 46% of voters now in Kane County, I'm independent. So I believe that you are a conservative and you're under the Republican Party umbrella. But what's your message to anybody listening, as an independent, or what I would even call a soft Dem, that, I don't like the direction of what's going on in Kane County with some of these wild Democratic policies. What's your message to why they would want to vote for David Teese?
Yeah, vote for David Teese. Get out there and vote personally for everybody, but I'm going to stop raising taxes. I want to stop raising taxes. I want to make our streets safer because, like they're NASCAR tracks, we're losing a lot of people in car accidents, and death rates have doubled or tripled on our roads. Mark talked about that a while ago. Since 2021, crime is up. We need to get the weapons for our local law enforcement and our sheriff's department. Maybe they need more officers out there patrolling the streets. Back in the day, you used to have radar detectors so you could not get caught speeding. Now, everybody just does 80 miles per hour down Randall Road, blows stoplights, has drag racing on side streets. We just had, a carjacking attempt here. We got crime. Shootings are up in Elgin. We need to get our local law enforcement more weapons to do their job and more officers out there.
Thanks so much, and it was a real pleasure. Thanks for the time today. I'm glad I got a great snapshot of who you are, and most importantly, just your servant leadership and your approach to serving the community. And Mark, it's always a pleasure to see you every couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Next time around, we have Lance Bell talking to Gretchen Butler, right?
That'll be a great interview.
And that'll be coming up 2 weeks from now. So.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Brian, guys. Dave. All right, it's 9:58. That's Kane County Speaks. Keep it right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Live and local here on the Talk of the Town.